the receiving school students and teachers. How are you all this morning?
We are very well, thank you. And how are you this morning?
Very well, just like you all. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, as usual, every lesson, or at least 2 lessons, we normally have a theme or a phrase to look at. For this lesson, we have a phrase or a theme, and I'd like you to give some thought about it. And while you are doing that, we will look through your homework. Now, in the previous lesson, you were given homework to find out what a sketch mapping is. So if I can have someone from the class to share with us what you have found out. Okay, we have Linda. Very good, thank you. Anybody else has another that you can add on to? Okay, we have Teresa. Teresa, if you can share with us what you have. Very good, thank you. Now let's look at our theme or phrase for this lesson. Sketching may be rough, but means a lot. I'd like you to probably discuss quickly through with your friends, and we see who can share with us what you have come up with. Sketching may be rough, but means a lot. Anybody else ready to share with us what you have or your thoughts on the theme or phrase? Okay, if we can have group 6, Shane, you and your friends.
Sketching may be rough, but means a lot. Meaning that that type of things that we sketch down on a paper, it may look not pleasing at all times, but it means a lot because the list that we put down, it has a full extent of meaning that which if we carry out what was done on the paper, we'll be very successful.
Very good, thank you. What about others? Anybody else? Besides group 6? Okay, sketch mapping. Sketch mapping is a topic for this lesson. And in this lesson, we will actually be finding out the definition for the word sketch mapping. And we will also be doing an activity on sketching doing a sketch mapping of the area that we will be using for the identified project. Now, we've already had Linda. She's given us the definition on what a sketch mapping is. And we will also, like I have stated earlier, when we come to the lesson activity, we will actually be going through or actually doing a sketch map of the area. Now, you have been told of the area, and I hope you had used your own time to do your own survey of that identified area. Now, what is sketch mapping? Sketch mapping, just like one of our students has said, is a rough drawing of something. Anything that you have in mind. Whatever you want to do, you have in mind, you have a rough drawing of it. It could be an area, or it could be an object, and it normally shows, it doesn't show a real picture, but just a rough picture of what you expect somebody to know, or maybe you yourself to know. Now, I'd like Francis, if you can read for us what it says on the screen, and we'll have the class and the students in the receiving school to have that definition copied into your workbooks, please.
Something such as an area made to show the location of a place done quickly without concern of details, for details.
Very good, thank you. Now, teachers in the receiving school, you have been reminded in the previous lesson that you have your own identified area in your schools, and you were told that because we are not to carry out a normal survey using our lessons, so teachers, you were reminded to just tell your students the identified area so they could use their own time to do their own survey, and I hope teachers, you have done that. Now, the class, our identified area is the school main gate and around the school office and the school cafeteria. And I hope you have all had some time to survey that area. Now, our activity is to sketch map the area that is going to be used for the identified project, which is the outdoor seats. Now, if you have done that, well and good. If you did not, then I don't know how you are going to get your sketch mapping done. But you have been reminded all to use your own time. Now, any questions from the class before we can go on to our lesson activity? Anybody who is not clear with what to do for this lesson activity before you are given whatever materials you need for your activity? Okay, it looks like everybody understands what to do. So I will have the runners. Okay, runners from each group. You are only to collect papers, and with the papers you will be using pencils. No markers besides pencils. No markers and no pen. You get the number one for everyone. No, what you have to do, you count how many you have. So if there are 5 of you, you get 5 papers. So everybody gets one big paper. Okay, let's see. Okay, you get how many there are in your group, and leftover, give it to your friends. That's enough there. Now, those who are runners, you are to make sure you have one for each person. If you have more than what you should, I'd like to have the others back. Count. Is that enough? Class, if I can have your attention, please. You are given an A3 paper. Now that paper is very big. You are to half that paper. So you use one. Just do your rough sketch. If you feel that you did not do it well, then you use the other paper. Now this is the heading of what you are to write on that sketching you are doing. Okay, that is what you are to write on the paper. Have that written on your paper before you do your sketch mapping. Now you all have 15 minutes. You are given 15 minutes to work on your sketch mapping. I've already given my instructions. Use the other half. Once you are not what, you can use that, but you can fold it into half and use the other half. Okay. Yes? You use it anyway, maybe this way and do it, or this way. You have to imagine that that whole area, okay, from the gate right down to the end of the fence. Yeah, where the tree to the end of the fence, and then the office block. And that office block includes the classroom that the grade threes are using, okay, right up to the school cafeteria. That's the area. Pardon? Individual work. Listen, class. The sketch mapping is individual work. It's not group work. Not like the action plan that you have done in the previous lesson. That was group work. Sketch mapping is individual work. So you do sketch mapping according to your survey that you have done yourself. No time to waste, get moving. Okay. Thank you. We already have one, almost finishing. Don't forget it's a rough drawing. You don't have to do a good drawing. If you need to move around and just see what they're doing, feel free. That's okay, they're already aware, so we just told them, when he came in the previous lesson, I just told them that you may be having some coming in, so. We haven't started yet. Where is yours? We are still fiddling around. Yeah.
I don't even need pencil. Just do a rough one.
Yeah, rough. It's rough drawing. Don't forget this is a rough drawing, and you don't need to draw the real building. You don't need to draw the real office, classroom, cafeteria. No, it has to be a rough drawing. Yeah. Class, if I can just have your time, probably 2 minutes or so. You also try to have a key. Okay? And you try to show which one is the cafeteria. So if you decide to have probably a picture like that as your cafeteria that represents cafeteria, then you have a drawing like that and say cafeteria or office block. Or this could be the school gate. Why are you just sitting like that? So what, you're sharing one pencil? Let me see it completely. Whose is that? That one there. Huh? Yours. Okay, that's good. okay, what you have there, you try to get it on your what quickly. Jennifer? No pencil. Let's see what you have. Okay, you have it there, so you cannot have the key. If you cannot have the key, then you can just indicate probably it could be your gate. Huh? So you write the word gate and then, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh no, just the area. You're not actually having the location of the seats. No, only the area that you are going to sketch map. And then maybe you could indicate, like, instead of having a key like that, you could just have the areas or whatever you have in that area. Just have it written like here you have gate, so you can write the word gate. Now let's see who is ready to share with us your sketch mapping. Okay, Shane, we will have you. Tanabik is almost there. What did you say? Can you? No, you have to use pencil. You're supposed to use pencil. A rough drawing. Some of us are trying to make very good drawings when we are only sketch mapping. He can get me. Also one him. Okay. By me talk one him. Yeah, okay, so I'll have to just but enough time. Okay. No, by me walking this before me closer. Okay, yeah. Thank you. What? No, you have to use pencil. If you cannot, then you can do your rough one with pen. Then you make it properly with pencil. And I will collect it when I'm collecting it too. Yes. Yeah, what you can. Let me see. What is? Yeah, it's a rough one. However you do it, but it has to be big enough. Not it's too small. Yep. Okay, class with the students in the receiving schools. Students in the receiving schools, I hope you also had something done on that. If you haven't, then your teachers will give you some time after this lesson to get your work completed. And that will be the same for the class here. But I'd like us to have a look at 2 or 3 samples of sketch mapping done by this class. So if I can have Shane, please, Shane, if you would like to come out with your sample and just briefly tell us what you have on your sketch mapping. You can have the what there. Okay, put it on so. No, that's rough. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay. I'd like Tanabik to prepare yourself, get ready to come out after Shane. Now we have Shane with us to just go through with us. Come over here. Go through with us what he has done for his sketch mapping activity. Come over here.
This is just an example of my sketch mapping. You can see these are there. Star here, asterisk represents the identified project. The square here represents the cafeteria. The rectangles here represents the classroom or the office block. The triangle, represent the trees. The circle here represents the steps. This line going down straight represents the drain, and the lines going this way and turning in represents the fences.
Thanks very much, Shane. Now, if we can have Tanabik. You can use the here. They want to point to your picture, and so thank you.
This sketch map, my sketch
Speak
is
loud.
the thing, the office, and the area. This is the fence, and that's the gate, and these are the trees, and we're gonna build our benches around the trees.
Very good, thank you. We had two boys. Any girls ready to share? Have yours presented? Looks like girls not ready with this. However, reminder to the receiving school teachers, assessment is ongoing, so you have your assessment plan sent to you. Now, those are the major, the assessments that you have in the assessment plan are the major ones. However, little work like the samples of work like the action plan that we have done in the previous lesson, and sketch mapping, you can, it's best to collect them in at least to award mark of 5 or whatever you can that can help to encourage students in the work that they are doing. Now, the students, especially the class here, I will be collecting in all your completed work, and bear in mind that I'd like to see all the work done in pencil. And do not forget the title of your sketch mapping for this lesson. Now let's just look through quickly what we have covered so far. Okay, if I can have someone to tell us what sketch mapping is. What is sketch mapping? Okay, let's have Trisha.
A rough drawing of something without consent for detail.
Very good. It's a rough drawing. However, a lot of us try to do very good drawings. A rough drawing doesn't take a long time to do, but because we all try to do very good drawings, it took us a lot of time to do, and I believe most of us did not get it completed. And class, I would like you to have time to complete your sketch mapping, and I will collect them all in to be assessed. Now, your homework is to find out what a scale mapping is. Sorry, scale drawing is. What is a scale drawing? I'd like you to find out that in your own time, and we will hear what you have for us in the next lesson. Now, before we finish, I'd like Junior, if you can tell us what our key phrase for this lesson is. What is our key phrase?
Sketch mapping.
Sketch mapping. Thank you, it's sketch mapping. Now, our next lesson is going to be on scale drawing of the project. Now, what is our project? If I can have Hayana to tell us what our project is.
Outdoor seats. Outdoor.
Good. Outdoor seats or outdoor seat is our project. So your scale drawing is going to be on that project, which is the outdoor seat. Now, in the scale drawing, you are going to use the measurements that you have indicated on your plan of action. I hope everyone is listening. You have done a plan of action, and you also indicated the size of your outdoor seats. You also had your measurements written. So every group is going to use that measurement that you had for your outdoor seats in the next lesson for scale drawing. Now, before we actually finish this lesson, students in the receiving schools and teachers, you have seen we had three gentlemen moving around in the classroom. You have seen them. You will be seeing more of them in next year's lessons, especially on maths and science. And with that, good morning class, receiving school students and teachers.
Receiving schools, here's a reference for the next lesson: strand, substrand, outcome, topic, materials, and reference.